Hi and welcome to Jim's Radio Shop. I'm going to start working on another record player. It's the one that's right here in sitting in my chair. So let's take a look at it. We'll check it out. Let's see what's up with this guy. It certainly is a heavy beast. Shift the camera here. You didn't fall off your chair during that. Get a little bit of a better view this way. Okay. There it is. First, I think we'll open up these front speakers here. Certainly come off like that. You know, these record players often, the hinges actually are the electrical connection to the speakers. There's another connection point. You can put the speaker farther away if you want, but you can just swing them open. They'll work. Kind of makes you wonder how reliable that might be. Big beast here. A lot of these, the back comes off also. Not on this guy. You know, I worked on one just like this one just a short while ago. I'm hesitating. I'm wondering, hey, is this the same one? I don't think so. This one's pretty dirty. A ton of oil or something on this control. Yeah, it's oil. So I think somebody's been lubricating this guy a bit. Being a mess on the knob. There's oil over here too. It just creeped around onto these controls. I've already wiped a lot of it off, but this is really quite oily. Nice action on the stabilizer arm. Anything missing there? There should be a board over top of this. Don't want all this stuff exposed. But there you see definitely two speakers and 3-tube amplifier, probably a 12AX7 and two, I don't know what these might be, 50 C5s? Would that be right? 50 C5. Put that back in now. Too many things in my hands there. Apologize again for all the noise that happens when I'm moving the camera around. If I could hear it while I'm doing it, I would become sensitive to it and figure out how to move it around more quietly. Hey, don't pull the tube out if you can't get it back in. Come on. What happened? That's pretty tricky. So I think we can start this guy off by Oh, that's interesting. A wire cut there. Remnants of a wire cut. Maybe we can start off by starting them up. Let's see what happens. Here, I'll give you a ringside seat on this. How about that? Okie dokie. Don't have any information about this, so I don't really know what to expect. Switches are off. Okay, front panel controls. Volume, tone, and balance. Balance in the middle, volume all the way down. Release the toner. There's a control here. Start, stop, reject. But there's one over here that says play. Curious. Okay. Let's give it limited power. Excuse me. Okay, we will start it. That's the speed. Oh, it's very weak. Very weak indeed. That's speed 33. It doesn't look 33 to me. That's 45. It might, boom, suddenly come up to speed. Give it a help. No, that didn't help. So we had a bit of a problem with the motor speed. Probably, this is probably a rim-driven turntable, so which means there's a idler wheel under here. And it's probably slipping. A weakened spring or something like that. I'm not hearing any sound out of it at all. No hum, no nothing. Now let's see. 2 tubes lit anyway. Now we got all 3 tubes are lit up. Oh yeah. Let me put my ear to it. I can hear something. There you go. I'm sure you can hear that. Now that hum goes up and down with the volume. So very good cartridge. Needle on both sides, 78 and LP. Well, except for the speed, I hate to do this. I think I'm going to try to reject. We'll see what happens. We'll probably just come to a halt here. It won't even pick up. Let's put it up on higher speed. That's 78, but it looks to me closer to 33. It's a little higher than 33. It might suddenly come up to speed though. And we'll try the reject again. No. I can hear the not happy. Let's put this here. Ooh, that's not good. Boy, I can really feel a lot of strong resistance in that. Ew. I'm not sure what to make of that. The motor's going a little faster. Okay, it is picking up speed. Here she goes. There we go. That looks a little more like 78 to me now. A couple of reasons why that could be happening. It could even be a capacitor that's caused that slow start. But it does turn at speed. Let's see if it'll reject now. No. The clicking you can hear. It occurs in the same point in the spin around on this. So I think I know what that is. So why don't we take this guy off and take a look at the mechanism underneath. And the hum, I think there's some power supply hum, and there may be some grounding problem here. I don't know what to make of that. Looks like we've got two output transformers, one for each channel. Okay, stops it. Nice coast. Turn the power off so I don't get electrocuted. Let's take this off. And we'll take a look and see what we can see. Go. There's a nickname for these clips, and the nickname is based on the fact that often they go flying when you take them off, and it's true. Not in my case. I managed to keep my fingers on it. Now, this is kind of oily. Whoop. See? This is kind of oily. I need a little container, and I'm out of little containers. Okay, I gotta go and get one. Hang on. Okay, I had to go to my container storage area and get a container. Put the part in it. Okay, let's lift this guy off. Up it comes, up he comes. Nice and easy. Well, you know, this raises some questions right away. How come there's so much oil on this thing? Who else has been messing around with it? Yeah. A lot of this lubrication, it's gone solid. Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh, that's the whole... well, that's okay. I see the story here. So this wheel is picking up the drive to drive the mechanism. This wheel is applying drive to the inside of the rim. A dual drive system, I guess you could call it. If you wanted to. I guess the beauty of this is the mechanism will always run at the same speed, no matter what speed you have the record player set to. So if you've ever used an automatic record player at 78, it almost throws this arm around. They tend to work, but it does look a little harrowing. Well, from the top here, there's not an awful lot we can do. I can apply just a little bit of solvent. I like to use alcohol, so I'm going to put a little bitty there. Alcohol. I like alcohol as a solvent. It's very clean, it's not dangerous. And it worked good. cheap. Contaminate. Okay, do I dare try to pour a drop? Another thing about alcohol is it evaporates completely, so nothing bad usually happens here. You kind of bring lubrications back to life. A little bit, anyway. So these are the things that we can see from on top here. And I have to take this player out, turn it over, and look underneath it. So what am I diagnosing here so far? Power supply, filter capacitor is probably causing the hum. One screw there, one screw there, one screw here. Let's try those. Hey, what's going on there? Ooh, a lot of pressure on them, didn't do a thing. Bottom of this cabinet's not openable. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll leave those screws alone. I'm pretty sure they shouldn't be undone. And 4 more board screws here. We can lift the whole board out if we take these. So let's do that. I'm going to move this guy because he's heavy, balanced poorly. So it's one thing to drop a little screw. It's another thing to drop one of those. That's called accident visioning or something like that, where you try to vision what can go wrong and deal with it ahead of time. These aren't my record players. These belong to a customer, and they like to get them back working. That's for sure. If we were ever to just not be able to fix one, it very seldom happens. I'd like to return it to it in the same condition. I would hate to return one in poorer condition than I got it. And that's a big risk in doing this kind of work. It's a really big risk. I don't know how prized a possession this is. This could be an extremely prized possession. This may have been, my grandfather played records on here when I was a little kid. And boy, if I were to destroy this thing, I might be a heartbroken person. Let's pull the plug on it. Just to double safety, you want to lift this board out. Out you come, outward. Now we'll take a look at all the wires. See if there's lots of wire. There is. Okay, forward. And there we go. Well, it's interesting. This is called the Calero Conquest. Made at, can't read that, England by Collard Limited. That's a Fleetwood. The trade name is Fleetwood. 3-way stereophonic 4-speaker high fidelity. High fidelity with 3 tubes. Okie dokie. Well, let's start off with this. There's a wire hanging here. What is it? I don't know. I think I see where it probably came from. Down here I see a connector with solder but no wire. And here I see a wire with no connector. Why would that break off? It's pretty easy tugging around with this. It's a short wire, it gets yanked. Off it comes. If somebody doesn't really see it happen, they may not realize what happened. Now I see 1 spring, 2 springs, 3 springs. They all feel pretty strong. There's another really strong one here. And there's a roller. That's actually a cam. And there's a roller. It looks really gummed up. Another spring just in here. That one looks pretty strong too. I mean, I'm just looking at it. I can't be absolutely sure. There's those locking screws I had trouble turning. Interesting. Just going into this fitting. There's a plastic wheel. It's a little unusual. Plastic gear. And the moving component here. This is the kick down the record. There's lubricant there. Not bad. It's not glue, but that sure looks bad. And down here is some kind of a reed switch. It's an interesting little mechanism in here. That's for lifting up the. Yeah, that's what the cam does. And it says this wheel is engaged and spins around. It pulls this, pushes this down to lift up the tone arm. You know, there's about as many mechanisms as there are record players, and they're all a little different. Some of them are very simple, and others are just crazy complicated. I think this guy falls into the medium category of. Okay, now here's a moving part that looks like it's stuck. Ugh. Typically, when you get these flat plates touching each other, that's a place where the glue can really. The glue, yeah, exactly. I can't seem to move it, so maybe it's held in position. Probably by this wheel here. So let's put a little solvent on that crazy thing there, which I believe should be loosely lubricated. I need something to really drip this stuff. You can really get a lot on there. It's a little hard with a Q-tip. I'm not sure if that skids along the cam or that piece should rotate. Now normally you would expect something like that to rotate. Sure looks like it's made to rotate, because that would, and that would explain all this crazy grease that's on it too. So when we get that rolling, we'll be a pretty good step ahead. Oh, there's a lot of dried grease in there. Okay, I really haven't found any hugely glued part yet. Suspicious about that part. I need to get much solvent in there this way. Now you can use stuff like WD-40. I probably will be doing that shortly. It's also a pretty good solvent, but of course WD-40 doesn't go away. It's I think in the long run it goes away. WD-40. WD stands for water displacement. This stuff was actually manufactured for rockets, and it had something to do with moisture forming on the surface of the rocket, either while it's flying through the air or sitting on the launch pad. I'm not sure. And they needed something that would help them with that problem. Along came WD-40, water displacement. 40. So I think it still has that trait of displacing water. I know one person who actually he had a connection. You have to picture this now. Connection under maybe underground or something like that. They got water in it that you could soak it up with WD-40 would drive the water out. But I don't know, it didn't seem very believable to me. I think that's the stabilizer arm there. Yeah. Let's put a touch of oil on that. You know, like getting right inside this mechanism, I'm not about to tear it all apart and clean each piece and then reassemble it. That's, I think, pretty much a guarantee it'll never work again. Maybe some guys attempt that, but I can't take risks with another person's machine. I got to stick to the safe thing to do. I'd really like to run this mechanism again. I'll have to get out my mirror stand. So let's put a block here. See if it'll get right up here. Okay, now. Doesn't look too bad. So, with some of these mechanisms, they have to be level for them to behave the way they will behave when they run. So if you flip them over, you're not seeing necessarily what is actually going on. Feels a little looser than it did. Okay, but I think we can operate it safely. So we will. Let's plug it back in. See my fancy plug here. This runs to a voltmeter. I'll show it to you. So when I plug something into here, I can read the voltage right at this point. There's the voltmeter that does it. I'll put on the supply system, and now I will put the power on here. This is off. Here we go. Watch the meter. 121. It's quite accurate. That's pretty high voltage in my house. On the hot days, everybody's air conditioner's going. It comes down to maybe 115. Okay, so we're gonna start this guy. There we go. Fluttering sounds not very good. Sounds almost like something not quite engaging, doesn't it? Oh. Turn the sound down. Okay. Take a look here. See this piece right here. This piece is coming around. Every time you go around. Do you remember I told you there was a little sound, or pointed out a little sound that was in conjunction with the turning of the platter, and that's that. And it comes around and it's supposed to knock this little guy here. Oh, he's not in good shape. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. That doesn't seem right. What happened here? The drive wheel's not picking up drive anymore. I think because I moved this. Move the guy here. Oh. Yikes. I don't like what it's doing. So let's take a look at that. We'll cut the power off. Flip it over. I don't like those little clicky sounds either. Sound of something breaking. Okay. So that little part is hidden way up out of view, up in here. Start figuring out how it all works, unfortunately. Lots of little adjustments here. One here. Well, LB. This piece is still not moving, but yikes. Let's put it right upside down again. It's very easy to break these guys while you're doing stuff like this. What does that sound like? All kinds of stuff's falling off? Yeah. Some stuff did fall off. I'll put it like this. That's not going to work. I had it so nice the first time. I think I've done it differently this time, that's why. Jeepers. No, that's good enough. How am I going to get at that little piece? It's way under here. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is, I got other projects to work on here around my house, so I think I'm going to stop at this point and ponder my situation here. Yeah. Hopefully nothing's broken in this. But I'm not even sure of that now. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop at this point. I got to go away and think about things a little bit. So, not as easy as the last turntable. See you soon. Thanks for watching.